So today I'm going to show you guys how to do your own bone broth. Right here I had a rotisserie that I had cooked up, and this is our leftovers here. So I still have a little bit of meat right here from the rotisserie that's good. And what you want to do is just take all the good meat off of that bone. Completely remove the meat from the bone. The reason why is because when you put that bone in the water, that water is going to infuse and it's going to take all the flavor from the meat out, and the meat is no longer good. So take as much meat as you can from the bone that you're going to eat so that it doesn't go to waste. So that's what I'm going to do for right now. I'm going to get rid of all the meat off these bones, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I've deboned everything that I want. I've taken all the meat out that I want. That's way up here. Took all the meat out, and my wings and everything. I just took the meat that I would like to have. The rest of it, the fat, the gristle, whatever the remaining stuff is, we're just going to put that in our crock pot. Now I think this is a 16-quart crock pot, and I'm just going to add all of that to this pot, and then I'm going to add I am going to add a little bit of chicken bouillon. Now you may say, why would you add the bouillon? Because you're making the chicken broth. But it makes it so much better. You can use it for a lot of different things. So this is what I do. Now you don't have to add the chicken bouillon, but I do. So I'm going to take all my gristle, bones, anything that I don't want, fat, that all in there. It's all going to just meld into that water. And as you can see, I've deboned this really, really well. I mean, gonna say deboned it. I've taken all the Okay, so I've taken all the meat off of this carcass, and I'm just going to stick that in here with the meat pieces that I have. And just one carcass is all you need. You don't need a lot. Just one carcass will do a lot of bone broth. Rinse my hands off here, and then I'm going to fill it up with water to cover. Fill this crock pot all the way up with water. All the way up to the top, to the rim of your crock pot. Okay? This will help make the broth. And you want a lot of broth. So we're doing almost to the top. Not quite to the top because you don't want it too full. Okay? And then we are going to add our chicken bouillon. I think I said a cup. I really meant a half a cup. I'm sorry. Pulled out a cup. I really meant to put in a half a cup. Okay. I'm going to add a half a cup right now. Just a half a cup in here. I think that's going to be enough. If you wanted to make it more concentrated, then you could add a whole cup. But I am just going to add a half a cup in there. And I can stir it up a little bit, but it's really not going to make much of a difference. And I just get those seasonings wet, mixed up in there. Off the top there. Float around, and eventually the heat will melt everything together, and you let this cook. Okay, you're going to let this cook for a long time. So I like to let this cook overnight. So I like to put this on high. Connect the lid, pop that down, and I like to put this on high. And when I go to bed, I'm going to drop it down to low or warm, whichever's the lowest setting on here. And my stuff is already, it's warm. Okay, yeah, it's warm. I'm so old, I've used this thing for so long that my markings on here are getting old. Anyway, right now you put it on high, and then at night what you're going to do is you're going to drop it down to warm and let it go overnight. In the morning is when you're going to take this out. And these bones have had plenty of time to set. If you leave it on there too long, you'll start to get kind of a weird smell. So, like I said, it has like, the longer you leave it, the more like a fermented smell you'll get. So you don't want to do that. I would just recommend either you're going to do it at night when you go to bed, you're going to take it out, or you're going to leave it overnight and take it out first thing in the morning. That's the best bet, is to leave it overnight, take it out first thing in the morning. And then you can start bottling it up, put it in the refrigerator, canning, whatever you want to do with it. This rest of this meat that I've got here, this is going to be good for chicken mash. If you've seen my recipe for chicken mash, you can go to that and use all the chicken pieces up for that. And that'll be another dinner. It'll be your dinner meal. So when this gets done, tomorrow morning, I will be right back and we'll show you the results. Okay, we're back this morning. I have my slow cooker here. Take the lid off here. I've had it on warm. So I'm going to take it off. So then all we have to do now is take it. We're going to put it through a strainer and then take the liquid and put it in the jars. And then you can either can it, put it in the refrigerator until you need it. If you put it in the refrigerator, it's not going to last that long. It's probably going to last a week or so before it starts to mold. So if you want to save it, you're going to need to can it. In order to do that, I do have a couple canning videos to show you how to can if you've never canned before. But pretty much, since it's a quart jar, I just put it in my jars and I will process them in the pressure cooker for 25 minutes. Because they're quarts. If you were to do pints, you just want to do it for 15 minutes. So, yep, I'm just going to go ahead and get a hot pan and pour this in there. Just be very careful when you do it. You might want to take some pliers, not pliers, some tongs basically. You might want to take out big carcass because it's going to fall apart. See, look at that. You're just going to put that in there. Get the major pieces out. And all that is going to go to my cats. I know a lot of people are like, well, they're, the bones. You're going to feed cats bones. But yes, we do. Especially these bones because they've been sitting for a long time. They've been cooked over and over again. So these are fine. When cats are out in the wild, they eat a lot of birds. And they're constantly catching birds. And so their bones and stuff are pretty hardy, basically, to get into. We do feed our cats like goose bones and stuff like that. So they're pretty good at chewing on bones. So I'm just going to stick all of the big pieces that I can grab. And we're just going to put that in here. And then I'm just going to take that, lift it out of here. Now, if you're not sure about how lifting it out of here and you want to just ladle it out, that's fine. Me personally, I am. Let's see. I made a mess trying to get this out of there. I don't know why it wouldn't come out. Didn't want to come out of there. Spilled the whole thing all over the counter. Let me take this out of the way. Move that out of the way. And let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to probably ladle it too, so I can get it to where it's manageable for me to handle. So I'm just going to take the juice out of here and put it in here. And it's just putting it all the way through. Put it on this side so you guys can see what I'm doing. This is still a little warm. Put this over here. crock pots have to be so heavy. But they are. So I'm just going to spin it out until it's light enough for me to handle. Guess my arm is not what it used to be. And it's telling me, no, Mom, don't do that. So, listen to my body and not try to overdo my shoulder. I did have shoulder surgery a while ago. In fact, it was just last year, so it still hurts a little bit. I wouldn't say a little, but whenever I lay down or get in a certain spot, I guess it just kind of tells me, oh, remember, you had surgery, you can't do this. So definitely have to listen to my body. Anyway, this bone broth is, you can use it for chicken stock, you can use it just to drink. Like I said, it's totally up to you how do you want to use it. I use it in chilies, anything that you can use broth for, I would use it for. This is the best part, basically, of the stock. I think I put that bouillon in there because, of course, the taste. You know, because you ever have like just straight up bone broth, it doesn't have, it has a not so, delicious flavor if you just do it without the bouillon. So if you want to try it without the bouillon, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so taking that mostly out, so maybe it's more manageable for me to lift and pour. There we go. Just gonna pour the rest of it. Get that out of there. And I'm just going to take that out of that. Yep. Now if you put that half a cup of bouillon in there and it's not, let me say how I put that, it's not as flavorful as you want it to be. But I think that is perfect. So for me, a half a cup of bouillon was the right thing to do. So half a cup is plenty. If you were to put a whole cup in there, it'd be so salty. You would have to, it would make it concentrated for sure. But you wouldn't be able to drink this straight up. This you can just drink straight up. It's nice and warm right now. If you wanted to take a glass, you could. But I am going to go ahead and put these in my jars and then pressure cook them. But this, like I said, is very, very good for you. And why not? Why not reuse what you use? Very good to take the time to, if you're at work and you just had some rotisserie that night before, go ahead and put it in that. Put it in there and let it cook. Let it cook overnight. And you've got your soup for the next day. You've got anything. You can put it in your matzah. Matzah's really good with this. Instead of using water, anything that calls for water and you don't want, just to use, you want flavor in it, use your broth. This is the best stuff. So I know I have videos on vegetable broth, and now we have bone broth, and I had the chicken broth I've already done. So if you want to see those videos, you can see those videos too. But yeah, this is the easiest way to make bone broth. Very easy. Most people have a crock pot. If you don't have a crock pot, I don't know, I think it should be like one of your staples to have a crock pot. Definitely a crock pot. You don't necessarily have to have Instant Pot, but definitely a crock pot or a pressure cooker for certain. Those are my must-haves right there. So okay, well, I'm just gonna fill these up, put my lids on them, and get them ready to pressure cook. Like I said, you could just put the lids on them and stick them in the fridge and be ready to go whenever you want to use it. So I hope you learned something today about bone broth. and hope you use it. And if you want to, you can comment below if you ever use it or make it, and tell me how it worked out for you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love you guys. It's another recipe.